Remember the power motto, girls. It's all about the teasing and not about the pleasing. Oh, back it up like a duck.
I recorded a video last year titled The Trope of Polluting Purity, and if you haven't seen it, I'll link that video right here. But in making this video, I realized that I left out a huge archetype that would fall under this notion, which is this aggrandized effort to corrupt all things related to innocence and youth. And that is cheerleaders.
You know, it takes a lot of courage to get up here and do something that you know people will make fun of.
I was rewatching for the 50th time the American cult classic Bring It On over the weekend and started cheering along with Big Red in the dream sequence Kirsten Dunst's character Torrance was having at the start of the film. And you all know that cheer.
Sexy, I'm cute, I'm popular to boot. I'm bitchin', great hair, the boys all love to stare. Who am I to guess? Guys wanna touch my chest? I'm rockin', I smile, and they think I'm vile. I'm flying, I jump, you can't look like don't you know? Oh, I'm major, I roar, I swear I'm not a whore.
And yeah, it's Torrance's dream. It's obviously parody, but this iconic cheer is a very clever and succinct description of how this character archetype has been written and packaged to the masses in film and TV for decades.
God bless the perv that invented these. Remember the power motto, girls. It's all about the teasing and not about the pleasing. Oh, back it up like a duck.
This shallow and vapid and sexualized portrayal of serious high school athletes in a sport that's so challenging and nuanced, like why have most of our all-American cheerleaders in film who used to be portrayed like this have been dumbed down to being mean, barely legal eye candy who are often just restricted to sensual dance routines designed for the male student body and the dads in the audience.
Remember the power motto, girls. It's all about the teasing and not about the pleasing.
And we get it in most films in which the backdrop is a high school. In order to tell the story in 110 to 140 minutes, that's the standard length for a feature film, some assumptions must be made about certain characters parlaying around in the background of the story. That's where these archetypes come into play. The tropes exist because the audience must all have this baseline view about how the nerds are, how the popular girls are, how the jocks are, how the theater kids are, etc., without taking up too much time if that's not the central focus of the film. However, in movies where they, the cheerleaders, aren't background characters, movies like Sugar and Spice, which is a hilarious teenage comedy that came out in 2001. I highly recommend if you've never seen it. But in movies like this, where the cheerleaders aren't just side characters used to fill in the gaps to portray some sort of social hierarchy, like Bring It On, Sugar and Spice is a story focused on the cheerleaders. They are the main characters. And there is no added value to portray them in this way for the story, yet and still, we still see little glimpses of it. It's like we can't deviate from the script. And let's step away from the mean caricature, because if everyone had the same bubbly personality, it would be boring, right? Variety is needed, but in terms of variety, is the hypersexual one really needed? I might be aging myself, but it wasn't always like this. I remember movies like Death of a Cheerleader starring 90s it girl Tori Spelling, and shows like Sweet Valley High that portrayed high school cheerleaders performing normal high school cheers, not provocative dance routines, in typical uniforms that haven't been sliced up. There was a time when the portrayal of a cheerleader was just more realistic and innocent, where the characters feel like real teens opposed to perfectly packaged male fantasies. But of course, what is this world in a movie or a show if it's not catering to the desires of the male gaze? And I was going to run down that path about visuals on screen catering to the XYs with all of these very intentional choices about wardrobe and weird, intrusive, unnecessary camera angles. despite having absolutely nothing to do with the storyline, until I started to really think about who these movies were meant for. I don't think male gaze is actually the primary factor in some of this media. Like really, the targeted audience for movies like Bring It On, Sugar and Spice, shows like Glee, that's teenagers, and not just teenagers, but teenage girls. So what are these directors, writers, costume designers, everyone involved in creating this image trying to reflect onto young and impressionable women who are absorbing this content, even when it is parody?
It's all about the teasing and not about the pleasing.
I immensely believe that grooming by proxy of television/media is a thing. And what's been so dangerous about this seemingly innocent archetype is it's teaching, really glamorizing to young girls the art of being a tease.
Oh, don't play dumb. We're better at it than you. You're having cheer sex with him.
And a tease to who and why? Well, it's not just your boyfriend. This performance isn't happening in an intimate setting for one. Think about it. Cheerleaders are very much forward facing. This is impressing on young women how to put on a show in public, in front of a crowd. It's for everybody, not just your man, but literally anyone who wants to fixate on you. And also, should we even begin to broach the subject of how cheerleading, obviously a sport dominated by women, that's really intense, there's tumbling involved, dance, stunts, not just waving pom-poms and jumping up and down, and Bring It On showed us all this, but for the most part, up until that point, and even displays in media after, somehow writers have found a way to infantilize this largely female-dominated sport to show young women who partake in it as just cutesy little mean girls. Is it possible that all of Hollywood is Revenge of the Nerds? Seeing as to how the very antiquated consensus as shown in movies and TV is that all jocks are dumb.
All right, I'm going. But I'm warning you, Miss Smartiness. I know how to fight for my man.
What man?
All cheerleaders are airheaded and the nerds, well, they grow up to be billionaires and do big things in life.
You must be like the most successful person in our entire graduating class.
Well, I guess that depends on how you define success. If to you, success means having a house in Aspen, one in Acapulco, penthouse in New York, mansion in Malibu, a 60-foot yacht, an 8-seat Windstar, Bell-Jet Ranger, a Bentley, a personal trainer, a full-time chef, a living masseuse, and a staff of 24, then yeah, I guess I am successful.
But that was a bit of a rant. Seriously though, share your thoughts down below on how you think cheerleaders have evolved or devolved in TV and film. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Signing off now, your friend, Dom.